Hey everyone! Did you know that the Pentagon, the headquarters of the United States Defense, just issued a stark warning about the risk of conflict with China? This isn't just speculation, but serious analysis from the heart of the world's most powerful military. And today, we're going to unveil 10 reasons why America is on high alert. If you enjoy military analysis content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And most importantly, watch until the end because reason number 1 will surprise you. Let's get started. Before we get into the top 10 reasons, we need to understand the context. In the last 20 years, China has undertaken massive military modernization. Their defense budget has doubled. Their navy is now the largest in the world. And tensions in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea continue to rise. The Pentagon isn't sitting idly by. They're analyzing all scenarios. Well, here are the results of their analysis. Listen carefully. Reason number 10. China's numerical dominance of the fleet. China now has more than 340 warships, while the U.S. only has around 290. In naval warfare in the Indo-Pacific, numbers matter. Although the U.S. has more advanced technology, China's sheer number of ships gives them an advantage in saturation strikes and control of vast areas. The Pentagon is well aware of this. Reason number 9. China's hypersonic missiles, a new threat. China has developed hypersonic missiles like the DF-17, which can fly at 5 to 10 times the speed of sound. This speed makes it difficult for U.S. missile defense systems to detect and intercept. Imagine a U.S. aircraft carrier worth billions of dollars could be attacked without much time to react. Game changer. Reason number 8. Distance and logistics. China is playing at home. If a conflict breaks out in Taiwan or the South China Sea, China is playing in its own backyard. Meanwhile, the U.S. has to project power from thousands of kilometers away. The U.S. supply chain would be extremely vulnerable. Every bullet, every fuel, every spare part would have to be shipped across the Pacific. China? They could just walk to the nearest depot. Reason number 7. Carrier killer, a threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. China is developing anti-ship ballistic missiles like the DF-21D and DF-26, nicknamed the Carrier Killer. These missiles are designed specifically to destroy U.S. aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers are the backbone of U.S. power projection. If China can effectively neutralize aircraft carriers, U.S. military strategy in the Pacific will collapse. Reason number 6. China's cyber warfare capability. Modern warfare isn't just about tanks and planes. China has very advanced cyber warfare capabilities. They can hack defense systems, disrupt military communications, and even cripple critical infrastructure. The Pentagon knows that before the first shot is fired, cyber warfare has already begun. And in this domain, China is a world-class player. Reason number 5, space domination, the final frontier. China has tested anti-satellite weapons and developed the ability to blind U.S. satellite systems. GPS, communications, intelligence all depend on satellites. Without satellites, the U.S. military would lose its eyes and ears. Troop coordination would be chaotic. Precision missiles would be inaccurate. This is the Pentagon's worst nightmare. Reason number 5, space domination, the final frontier. China has tested anti-satellite weapons and developed the ability to blind U.S. satellite systems. GPS, communications, intelligence all depend on satellites. Without satellites, the U.S. military would lose its eyes and ears. Troop coordination would be chaotic. Precision missiles would be inaccurate. This is the Pentagon's worst nightmare. Reason number 3, global economic dependence. This is what's giving the Pentagon a headache. The U.S. and Chinese economies are closely interconnected. China is the U.S.'s largest trading partner. The global supply chain depends on China. A military conflict would trigger a devastating global economic crisis. Recession, massive inflation, shortages. This isn't just a military war, but a war that will destroy the world economy. Reason number 2, nuclear threat, risk of escalation. China is a nuclear power with hundreds of warheads. They are rapidly expanding their nuclear arsenal. The Pentagon fears that a conventional conflict could escalate into nuclear war. This is what's called the nuclear threshold. When China feels pressured, will they use tactical nuclear weapons? No one knows for sure, and that's what's scary. One miscalculation and millions of lives lost. This isn't a Hollywood movie. This is the real risk facing the Pentagon. And finally, the number 1 most shocking reason. China is not alone, and nor is the U.S. This is what worries the Pentagon most. This conflict could become a world war. China has close ties with Russia, North Korea, and Iran. The U.S. has alliances with Japan, South Korea, Australia, and NATO. A single spark in the Taiwan Strait could ignite a multi-front global conflict. The U.S. must prepare to face not just China, but a coalition of nations opposing Western hegemony. The Pentagon realizes this is not just a U.S. versus China war. This is a battle of international systems that could change the world order forever. And this is why they are being so cautious in every strategic decision. So guys, those are 10 reasons why the Pentagon is taking the risk of conflict with China very seriously. From fleet numerical dominance, hypersonic missiles, geographic advantage, carrier killers, cyber warfare, space warfare, artificial islands, economic dependence, nuclear threats, to the complexity of global alliances. What's clear is that both the U.S. and China understand that war is the last option. The costs are too high, the risks too great. Diplomacy and communication remain key to preventing a conflict that could change the face of the world. So, that's an in-depth analysis of global military strategy. What do you think? Can this conflict be avoided? Or is the world heading towards a tipping point?